Okay, I'm going to walk us through how to do some pre-supports in Chitubox using one of my resin gnomes, or well, it'll be a resin gnome. This is the build plate for a Sonic Mighty 4K. I want to make him a little bit smaller, like 6 inches, so that's 152.4 millimeters. Then I will rotate him slightly backwards, maybe a little this way too. And once I have him kind of decided how I'm going to make him, it's easy to now just go to the supports. I've got it set for medium, which I think will be good for this model. You can see all these little dots. That is where it's planning to put supports based on this shading. It's basically looking at what's going to be hanging straight down from the build plate, which I'll show you in just a second how this is oriented, because we're really upside down from how it really looks. These are the settings: medium. You can change all of these, but you want to be careful. It's going to depend on your printer and your resin, your exposure settings and everything else, which is one of the reasons I don't think that it's all that useful to even provide a pre-supported model. That's why I thought I'd just show you how to do it. I'm going to hit all. It'll look at those points, and there's the pre-supports, or the supports. It has mostly medium, but you see it also has thrown in a few little bitty supports, thinner. It's going to hit all that on the hat. I'm going to turn it upside down here to kind of show you that this is actually how it's going to print, upside down. So I can grab this slider that's on the right, and we can get us a preview of how it's going to build. It'll start with just hitting the bottom exposure. Then it'll grab these so now I'm getting a little preview. You can see it going slowly, how it's going to build up that bottom of the shoe, the beard, the bottom of the sword scabbard. As it dips in and out of the resin, if there aren't supports and strong enough to hold it, then as it pulls away from that FEP screen with a little pop each time, it's going to want to pull loose. And then if you didn't have any supports, those prints, they would never even be pulled off of the FEP screen, and you would just have the silhouette of your model on the bottom of the tank. So you're going to have supports. So when somebody says, I want no supports, well, you can't print on resin, because like I say, it's printed like this, upside down. And so everything ends up hanging off of that build support till you end up pulling that whole model up out of that pool of resin, just like on Terminator 2. So that's kind of a preview of how that thing will build. When I'm happy with that, I'll go back to this first screen and just hit slice, which is right here. That'll tell me how long it will take, how much resin it will take, and even its weight. So if your bottle of resin and this is Syria Tech Fast Gray. It's about $35 a bottle for a liter. You put that information into your slicer in your profile for your printer, and then it'll not only give you an estimate of how long it will take to print, but it'll also give you a calculation of how much resin it will cost, or how much the model's going to cost. This one I think will be around $6 or less, which we'll see if I remember correctly. Anyway, I'm hoping that that's helpful to you to kind of see it's not that big a deal, and you know, don't let it intimidate you. Just it's part of the hobby, so just pull the model in there, set the size, orient it how you like, and press go, and you see, you know, how your supports are basically going to be on the bottom sides of your model. And so if there's features that you want to protect, like the face or something, you might give it that tilt. That's the only real reason you're tilting it. You cut the cross section of the model so that you're not going to put too much suction on that film as it pulls away, but mostly you're just tilting the details you want to favor upwards or downwards, so that you don't end up with supports like all over the face. But generally they're going to end up on the bottom side, back side of your model. You see here, $5.63 is the cost, 172 grams, and it's going to take a little over 12 hours to finish. Okay, and let's see how this capture worked, and thanks for watching.